Hi, and thank you for joining me for the blog of the month. We are the Hattrick Quilters. That is Sylvia at You and Me FPP, Melissa at Practically Creative, and myself. And our blog of the month is Sweden, and mine are Shattered Stars. So Sweden Shattered Star is what you're going to be seeing me put together. It is made for traditionally piecing, which means just take two pieces, right sides together, and sew, or FPP. You'd follow the same diagram as the FPP in ABC 1, 2, 3 order. And it's been a long day. Let's get this done for tomorrow. All right, we're going to see if we can make this make sense. I have section A, FPP, and I have my templates named, yours will look prettier, A, B, C, and D. So for the FPP, that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Are you with me? So we need to put piece 1 on. We'll need one of each of these. Let's just grab those out. So as usual, I would take piece A and my light board. Because I took away my sun. Piece A is right here. That's the little blue piece. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that. Get it and make sure I got a 1/4 inch over every side. It looks like more than a 1/4 inch to me. So we learned from the live this morning, didn't we? If we didn't, we should have. Put the ruler on the line, the flat side. Scoot it over. Butt this up against your paper. That's what that lip is for. It's for catching your paper. So we want a 1/4 inch on every side of this paper this piece we just put on. Remember, right side facing away from the paper on the first piece. I didn't think I cut these very accurate, which is why I'm not doing the traditional piecing. Okay. So we have A, and this would be B, which is A2. If you turn this over like this, it goes right there. So we're going to line it up with it, and when we turn it over, we should have a 1/4 inch everywhere. Because it's easier to hold it like this, I'm going to start here, back stitch, and go off. With a 1.8 stitch, I have the universal foot on. As long as you can see that line, I really used whatever foot you want that works for you. More than one way to skin a cat. By the way, that was not answered by anyone on my last video. Maybe it was a video before last, I don't know. Okay, I didn't cut this one very well, so it got a little bit showing. That's okay, it's not gonna hurt nothing. Not gonna hurt a thing. These are starched because it's easier to work with when they're starched. Okay, so A, B, C. And this will be your C piece, which is A3. Just line it up right here. Turn it over, So straight across on the line. Your extra threads up. You don't want to deal with those later. Pull this piece back, and it works. See, when I started this, I intended to have some fun facts about every country, and then I didn't. So fourth piece is a 4, a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right sides together. Can't blame me if my brain's a little fried. I did a live FPP with tons of technical issues. Then I did 20 some reviews for Amazon Vine. That alone fries my head. And push that back. And now our piece A is done. All there is to it. This is B. So for B, since we had A, B, C, D, E, we're going to start with E on this one. And I've got an E here. E, F. F is right here. G. G. H. H. I. Some of these have several different letters on them, so you might want to watch for that. Okay, so we had H through I, and we're going to start with B1. And what do we do with B1? We turn it over. I can see my lines through my paper because this is newsprint. If you can't, you can always put it against the light source and draw them on there so you can see the lines. You can use a light box. No, that's not right. Why? Barely cut that one right, didn't I? I have just enough to cover that, about an 1/8, which will be fine. Let's see. Y'all see me do that. You can see the lines there. Just enough to cover that, about an 1/8, and get it all the way across. Wow. See, in today's lesson we learned was don't cut your fabrics with templates with trimmers going off. I mean, my trimmers, not like earth trimmers. Okay, right side facing me of the fabric. Back side. I really don't like how this is looking. It's going to get caught. It's going to get caught, and the Sylvia method says if it's going to get caught, leave it. Don't stress over it. So we're not going to stress over it because we learned the Sylvia method. Then number 2. Okay, number 2, we have right here. Is where number 2 is. Number 2 goes right here, so we're going to flip this over, line up those sides right there. We're going to start at the intersection, back stitch, and go straight down. Whoops, I didn't need a back stitch there. I got carried away with the back stitch. And I also did not. Do you see the problem? Okay, I made a mess of this bit. What I did is I took it off, and I'm going to put it further past that because this one it grabs. This one is fine. It grabs the blue one. But I'm going to put it past that so it does more than just grabs the edge of that. And hope that I did that good enough. forward at the intersection and back, and then stitch off. B3, which is this one. Maybe we'll have better luck. Put it edge to edge. So all the way across on the line. Cross your fingers, say a prayer that you did better on this one than the last one if you're me. Did we get all of it in the papers? Or in the seam? Yes, we did. Barely, but barely is good enough. You know, I should have made me a cheat sheet with the alphabet that I was using. Okay, A, B, C, D brought us to E, F, G, H. That's what I did. Okay. I'm going to turn this over right here. I'm batting 1,000. Lining up this edge, making sure we go all the way across. And I'm going to sew down this. And I'm not going to do it from that side. If cut properly, I could, but trust me, I didn't. Okay, make sure we got that, all of it. Yep, barely, but it counts. Now I'm going to check the seam allowance real quick. I'm going to fix the seam allowance real quick. The best advice for FPP is do not do it when you're distracted. Do not do it when you're tired. Currently, I am not distracted. That's all I can say. Okay. So I've made that a 1/4 inch using my ruler. And wondering why my life choices are so bad. Do you see what I did there? I have, and now if you missed the Sylvia method, you're gonna find out. I have some scraps. Since I'm just a little bit short right here, I probably don't need to scrap that big, but that's what I got. I'm going to put my scrap right side together to cover that. And it will cover it. Why? Because I just don't need paper under it. Let me do this. Just use your 1/4 inch. Line mine up with my tape. All right. Covers up all that we were trying to cover up. Then just cut the extra off. Nobody's going to notice. Good. If they do, I'm not sorry. I might be. You never know. I change my mind sometimes. Okay. No huge, problem. Then we'll take this one. We'll put it right across there. Make sure it goes all the way across. And we're going to sew on the line. Guys, I smush when I press. Because I'm not pressing, I'm smushing. Now I'm going to take and cut off, and I should do that to the other one too. Everything outside this piece of paper, which is the 1/4 inch line. Anything that's outside that 1/4 inch line, and I'm lining up on the 1/4 inch on my handy dandy ruler. Okay. Stuck in my head. 1/4 inch. Most of it was fine. So we make do. We've made A and B. Get B. Or A. Going to trim it off 1/4 inch away also. Sometimes I do them twice. I'm just thorough like that. Yes, I said thorough. So now we have A and B done. And they're going to come together. Does that look right? They're going to come together like this. We're going to put piece A with piece B. I'm not going to use pens. I'm just going to assume that my... yeah, I really did hear what I just said out of my mouth. I'm going to line my papers up. Where's the... I'm going to line my papers up. You could put pins through here, here, and here, and make them come out this point, and this point. That's going to take me much longer. So we're not going to do it. I'm going to do a 1/4 inch straight down. Y'all, you know, cross your fingers and toes. It was not lined up. Which is why I should use pens. No, better do better. So this AB piece, whoops, gets a J right at the top. Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I should be more careful with this right here. Noted. This could have been a little bit closer. Noted. But it's pretty good, and I don't think anybody's going to notice. Except for the people that I just pointed out to. Okay, what did I need? J. One of our J pieces. And it makes a, what does that make? It's not a diamond. It makes that shape. Flip it over. I don't know why I didn't put a piece of FPP on that piece of paper, but I didn't. So right sides together, and we're going to sew across this line. I heard it, and now I'm going to ignore it. All right, so we have one piece done. And I did when I said they were quadrants. It is a piece like this, and then the next piece, and that's basically the quadrant, but it's on an angle, so it might mess with you a little bit. But that's piece one. Set up for the next one. I'm just realizing C1 went on that tip, but it's fine. Now we need pieces D, E, and F, and they should look something like that. And the corresponding pieces, we left out J, so we're going to go K. There it is. K, L, M, okay, that one's right, and N, these little ones, and they'll go in this order, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just set that one right there for right now. I'm going to go ahead and set this one up. N, that's right, N, N. I'm going to use an A there because I don't see the one that belongs there. So let's go on to P. So I skipped this one, but you're going to cut it with the A's. It'll be okay. Again, oh no, I cut that one right. So P, Q. And then R will be on this one. And that's the order you're going to put them together. If you're doing traditional piecing, that's the order you're going to put them together. You're going to put this together, then this one together, which is listed as D and E, and then going to marry those two, and then add this one to the end. Clear as mud. And it's this section repeated, and apparently I only did enough FPP for a couple pieces. I need to print some more FPP. Okay, so D1. Let's turn the light on. Wrong side of the paper meets the wrong side of your fabric. Pretty side is facing you with the fabric. Well, it fits this piece really well. Yay! So that's one. D1, D2 is this one. I'll turn that off. So I'm going to turn this over, and I know this piece needs to fit right here. So by knowing that, I just turn this piece over right there. And if this one was cut correctly, and we know that that's pretty unlikely. If this one is cut correctly, it will fold over and cover this entire piece. I'm going to start at this intersection, back stitch, and come off. And when you flip this one over, it should cover that entire piece, and it does. Okay, I'm going to iron this just because that's who I am. Why does my iron go off? Somebody unplug it? I unplugged my iron. Now I know what the noise was. Okay, so we're going to pretend like I ironed that. Line those edges up. So straight across the line. in there, no? Straight across the line, and we covered that entire piece right there. Hopefully we have some heat. Let me be who I am. That was a little weird, I know. Now we're going to put the smaller piece on. If you have them lettered, you'll know which ones they are. If you just do a 1/4 inch on all of these without the paper, that is how you traditionally piece it. Not doing that because we saw. And it should cover it. Yay! So we've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll trim that later. Over here, we're going to move on to E1, which is that weird one that for some reason I didn't have a letter for. Put my earbud in my ear to listen to music, and then I didn't. We want the wrong side of the paper to the wrong side of the fabric, over every side a 1/4 inch, at least 1/8 of an inch, at least 1/8 of an inch. So if you got 1/8 of an inch, don't panic. Just keep telling yourself it'll be all right. This one will go there. So we're going to put D2 right here. Line up this edge. We'll start at the intersection, back stitch, and then go down. I keep trying to say backspace. Does anybody know whose fault that is? If you do like the answer to skinning a cat, you should answer in the comments. And know that I'm slow about getting back to people, so that's probably why nobody ever knows it. It's all right. I talked to myself plenty in case you missed it. Hopefully my mic is still hooked up. It says it is. I'm worried about that. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. Take my word for it. Would I fib to you? Okay, now the third piece, whatever letter this was, right sides together. It's going to fit like this, right? Off. It'll fit like this, so we're going to turn it over and line that edge up and go straight across on the line on the other side. You can pin this. You could put a little dab of glue on it if you wanted to. It works. No, I'm not always surprised. Yeah, I'm always surprised. Now we put the last piece on. I think this is a little bit big there, so I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, I live dangerously. It's kind of what I do. I'm joking. About the what I do thing, but yeah, I don't always make the best choices. Fingers. All right, and it fits. Give that a press back. Turn this off while I do some trimming right here. We're going to take D and E and F. Oops. And trim a 1/4 inch away, just like we did on the last ones. If you've cut accurately, this shouldn't be a thing. I'm just showing you that, you know, the world's not over if you didn't and you're doing FPP. If you're doing traditional piecing, it might be the end of the world. Okay. Now we have, still on. I'm going to set these back down this way so I can see D, and E. I'm going to pick these up like that. Right sides together. Now if you wanted to, you could put them this way. And you could also mark the 1/4 inch right here on this side and right here on this side. And do the same at the top. I don't want to. I've shown that trick before. And once again, I'm going to put the papers together, get the edges of my papers all together. This should work in theory. And I'm going to sew right down that center line. What is this, like a trapezoid? Hang on to the papers or use pins, woman. There are only 2 choices. Now you can tape, you could staple, you know, just really wanted to. I don't suggest it. Now that we got section D and E together, look how pretty that comes together. I didn't even pin. I didn't even pin. We should tell the quilt police about that. That's what we should do. We're going to take the piece that we put on here, turn it over, I'll line my edges up right there. That's the only edge I'm worried about. Make sure it comes right there. And again, we're not going to pin. Shouldn't make me so happy. Oh, my son is trying to sleep. It's middle of the afternoon. Make better choices. And then we have another section. Okay, now this is where, first I'm going to trim this because I can see that that was off a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm pushing things with the ruler. I want the crazy one behind the curtain. Okay, so now I have, and you can look at your picture, I have mine up on my computer screen. Now I have this section, the A piece and the D piece, right? And we're going to put this together. Okay, so what we can do, because you know I want you guys to trust me, and who would trust me if I did that without pinning? I'm going to find more pins. I'm going to go through this corner, right? Then I'm going to go through where they're going together at. I'm going to go through that corner, I hope. That was not a good guess. I think that was a good guess. Yeah, that was a guess. Okay, now I want this pin to be straight. And I want this edge to be straight. I'm going to pinch it with my fingers and then anchor that pin. And then since I don't have a paper on the end of this one, I'm going to use this corner and this corner. Can't see that corner. And it's all over but the fighting after this. It should go right through this tip right there, yep. Pinch it, pin it, Now this is straight. Now that's straight. And I'm going to start from this side because I think it's going to be easier with paper right there. And question my choices about my first piece, but that's okay. You have the benefit of my corrections. Until I second to pull that pin out. Give it a little help back there. Now this is one of the four sections we have done. Oh man, that is, I keep changing my favorite block. So this will go like this, and then you'll have one that's like, you know, cooperate, okay? My picture's turned around. So this is the bottom left corner. Then you turn it. Tell me you get the gist. Tell me you get the gist. I need to print me some more papers out, but oh my gosh, I love those colors. Sweden Shattered Star. Let's see how I do with the rest of the sections. Okay, I made another block just like the first one we made. And it'll go right here. It's just a repeat of that first block. I do double check it and come out myself. Okay, right now, I'm going to put together. I'm going to pin at this corner, and this corner, not this corner, and this corner, and to make sure this is lined up, we can put another pin here. Those seams will line up. If we return, they would nest. I'm going to sew a line down there, and then do those two. And there I have it. Half of it's done. We'll do the other half, and it'll go together like that. I have a little off right there. Use your pins, it'll be fun. Okay, now I have two more made. I'm going to flip this one this way. Sew these together. Make sure I join these right and right here. And then I will join them together here. Now if I put my pin through here, it goes through this side. Same here. And through this side. And then sew down the line, it'll line up. If you just do a 1/4 inch, it should line up too. Get that even. So I'm going to put this together and we're going to have a 12.5 inch unfinished, 12 inch finished Sweden Shattered Star. Now I'm going to put a pin through here and through this corner and down here the same, and then in the center that is going to nest with that side. Just make one seam go left and one seam go right and stick a pin in there, and yes, that's going to be kind of bulky. We'll see what we can do that afterwards with that. I think it will lay straight once we get it all done. That is the Sweden 12 inch finished star, 12.5 inches unfinished, free pattern. Until next month's pattern drops, don't forget to visit You and Me FPP and Melissa at Practically Creative. See what they did for their block of the month. Have a great week and be the light you want to see in others.